Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Martin Willis, your host. I'm really excited about this show this evening. This is only the second interview that Jonathan Weygandt has done, and he did the first one back in uh, 2001 for the Greer's Disclosure Project. And some of you may have seen that. Not everybody has, but I'm going to go over a couple things just to help out, the whole situation here, and so people are, understand how this whole thing came about. So a nice listener named Jay Hall contacted me in 2020, and he briefly mentioned at that time that he was in touch with a Marine that was involved in a UFO crash in Peru. But at that time, he said that that person did not want to speak about it on my show or anyone else's. So then David Grush came out in June of this year. And once that came out, Jay contacted me again, saying that this is the perfect time for Jonathan to speak about it and that he was going to get in touch with him. And that same evening, I got a call from Mario Woods, who also had spoken to Jonathan in the past. Mario Woods has been a guest on the show. And he said, he was agreeing this is the time that Jonathan should speak about this. So I was connected with Jonathan, and we had a number of phone call conversations. Eventually, I went up to meet him and went out and had a really nice visit with him. And I understood right away after getting to know him these last few months that he has real high morals and high credibility. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that this event happened to him. And you will see that it was a traumatic experience for him. And it was really very hard for him to recount things. It was very tough for him. I really feel for him that he had to go through what he did with this whole experience. I do think it's good that it's documented, that he's talking about it again. I also want to say this and let people know this, that he has not sought out any publicity at all. He has no interest in the UFO community or getting involved in any type of way. And I talked to him about certain incidents, and he was very, he just was not paying attention to anything. He's just trying to move on with his life and basically forget about this whole situation. That's really what he wants to do. He does not want to write a book. He does not want to talk about it again. So I want to give a thanks to Jay Hall, first of all. And I also want to thank Roland at RGH UFOs. He did a lot of great research, and that article is down in the text below. It's also going to be in the show notes. Also, the 2001 Disclosure Project video is linked as well, and you can get all the detailed information. He talks about things in great detail. He was really enthusiastic at that time. He's not so much, again, he's just trying to forget the whole thing ever happened to him. And I'm asking you to please respect his privacy. Please do not try to reach out to him. He really does not want to talk about this any longer. I've had, journalists contact me that wanted to speak with him, and he says no, he's just not interested in any type of publicity. To me, that gives this whole thing a lot more integrity, and not that it needed more than it already had. But so just in a nutshell, for those of you who have not looked into this, or who are listening to the audio podcast and have not watched his 2001 interview, Jonathan went into the Marines in the early 1997. He was deployed to Peru to patrol at Operation Laser Strike, which is a drug-running intercept program. In March, his platoon was called out to a crash recovery. It was possibly a friendly aircraft. They went out for about 3 hours in 5 or 6 Humvees out toward the crash site. They eventually went through the jungle on foot to it. He was up front, what you call point. He was on point with two other people, and they came upon the crash site. It was very obvious. It was like burned through the jungle, like cutting butter with a knife. They followed the path to the crash and came upon a teardrop or egg-shaped, I'm going to show you an artist's rendering here, egg-shaped craft that was buried in a ledge. Just the back of it was sticking out. And there was fluid leaking out everywhere, and it was changing colors, like sort of like the rainbow, but sort of like a chemical rainbow. Some of the fluid got on him, and it ruined the material of his camis. And he lost hair on his arm where it was on him. He noticed there was damage to the craft that may have been from a Hawk missile. There was a strong humming noise that he describes as like a guitar amp or something like that. There was a recessed hole, perhaps a cockpit. And the thing that you may not hear in the other interviews because it was edited out is there was an arm hanging out, and with four fingers. And he felt there was at least two beings inside, and he felt that the one with the arm hanging out was possibly dying, and he felt like he was being communicated with. I know this is a lot. This is a lot to hear, but again, after speaking with him, I think he's 100% credible. I wouldn't have done the show if I felt different. Again, he had a real hard time talking about the rest. He said it went downhill from there. But basically, some men showed up in black camis. They were very aggressive with him and took over the whole situation. And they basically said, "What are you doing here? You should obey our orders." So I don't know, maybe the orders get messed up or whatever. They weren't supposed to be there. He was flown out of there on one of the helicopters, and he was interrogated and threatened for hours on end. They made his life totally miserable, and it was really hard for him in general. So anyway, I totally respect him, for all he went through, and he's just trying to move on, and again, to forget about this. And I'm going to start the video now. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Hello.
I'm really, really honored to have you here, and I know it's been a long time, over 20 years.
Yes, sir. Well over, actually about 26 now, I would suppose. Well over that now.
The one thing that I know people are curious is, do you feel this is the right time to speak about this?
Well, you asked me to come.
I know.
Right.
Yes.
Like I said, I told you, and I've told you this, continuously. I don't have anything new to add.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. No, I know. The timing for us and the people that are really paying attention to this topic is that, more people are talking about similar things that
Sure.
you have been talking about. So, can you kind of go through the whole thing? I know you did it once. It was a long time ago. But and I have some questions along the way and maybe you'll just answer them just by talking about the whole situation.
Well, where would you like for me to begin?
Yeah, well, I know you went into the military back in 1995 or 6?
95.
Yeah.
And June of 95.
Yeah. How did you come to actually go to Peru to begin with? I mean, how did all that fall into place? Was it a type of training that you had or something?
No, I was deployed during the Operation Laser Strike. It was a counter narcotics operation.
Yeah.
And I happened to find myself there.
Yeah. And did you have a choice in the matter? Or did
No,
you just,
there's no choice.
You had no choice. And what type of training did you do for that?
Well, the normal Marine Corps, light infantry, air defense, that type of training, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And as I've read a little bit about the Operation Laser Strike, and it was supposed to
Sure.
be to stop the drug running, that type of thing. Did you see a lot of that? Were you involved in a lot of?
Well, I mean, we were just generally, I would say light infantry, patrolling, stuff like this, and that's essentially what we were doing.
Yeah. And you actually had a conversation with someone involved in the radar, the
Yes.
two women? And
Yes, right, I did.